Hello everyone, Austin Mathis here to pitch my game idea, Space Pilgrim. Space Pilgrim is a level-by-level survival and resource management game where players will navigate their ship around various hazards to reach the goal planet. Now, the obstacles that they have are gravitational anomalies that will push or pull the ship that they're piloting to increase momentum and change its direction. They will also have to navigate around hazards such as enemy ships, the sun, and asteroid fields. To do this, they will use resources such as fuel and energy. Later, these things can be upgraded to increase the player's success. The goal for the player is to reach the goal planet without using as many of their resources as possible and preserving as much of their health as possible, because this will increase the output of resources that they receive from the planet for upgrades to increase their further success as they travel through the galaxy. Now, some of the antagonizing forces that we've talked about are players will encounter enemy ships that will cause them to use their energy to dispose of them or evade them. And then they will also encounter environmental hazards like the sun. When they get too close, they'll take heat damage, damaging their hull slowly. If they run into an asteroid, they will take instant damage and lose an entire bar of hull integrity from asteroids and from enemy fire. Now, the primary object of the game is what approach will you take to reach the goal planet. So here we see the red line follows up and ends up in the black hole as the player attempts to navigate between it and the asteroid field and gets pulled in. At the bottom we see the orange line where the player attempts to navigate between two outward pushing gravitational anomalies and in between some enemy ships. That will be the most costly route for the player to take. Now, a dangerous and effective route is the green line, where the player uses the black hole to pull themselves up and preserve fuel, and uses the gravitational push to get up closer to the planet and boost a little bit of fuel to make the rest of the way in. Now they'll be able to upgrade things like guns to deal with asteroids and engines for fuel efficiency and their HUD to help them plan routes. Now, some alternate modes to keep things fresh were an unending journey mode where players just go from planet to planet for resources and go as far as they can on the resources that they have. Then a survival mode where players are set in an arena type of setting and they must survive against enemy ships and asteroids for as long as possible. So some concept examples here are a spaceship for the overall look that I would like to go for, and then I was thinking for choosing new levels and difficulties, the star map to the left would be very interesting for that. Now, when I was thinking about the survival mode, the Gallica really seemed to resonate with what I was going for, like a modified Galaga, where players kind of get to roam around and survive all these new types of enemies coming in, and they get all these access to upgrades to where they eventually just become godly dealing with the enemies. Then another example for the regular mode is Event Horizon. Kind of reminded me of the Mass Effect system where you explore around, gather resources, make settlements, and move on. Some risks are going to be keeping the content fresh and varying while also keeping the player on a nice level of progression for the levels as they go through. We want to be able to balance upgrades with difficulty, and that's going to be a little bit of a hurdle to clear. And here's some of my references.